Hey traders, welcome back for another video. So this is again trading on a live account, so using real money. Um, Today what I am looking at is I can see there has been there's been two major touch points here, almost three touch points. A lot of the price has been pushing into the upside, so it's trading above the EMA. I've outlined a potential demand zone here. So what I'm waiting on today is to see whether or not the price is going to break below this yellow line. If it does, then we may want to short and take a profit just before hitting that demand zone, and then seeing what the price does. And then we may want to be looking for a long position, which I think the price is just going to skyrocket into the upside, right? And hopefully try and target up here to one of these previous supply zones. Um, so it's about 2 minutes before the London session opens. We just want to monitor and see what happens with this price, and then see it how we want to play it out. Already starting to see a little bit of a push into the upside. So uh, one more minute and we'll see. That's when the London session starts. Although, I found that the session really gets going later into the day. We can kind of see a bit of, that momentum down here, which I think this is the New York session. That's when they have a little bit of a crossover. And a lot more momentum and volume gets pushed into the market. There we go. So the new candle has just been formed. I'm on the 15-minute time frame. New candle has been formed, and we're seeing that as green. That's a positive sign. Although what I think is going to happen is that it's going to push a little bit into this upside and then trail back down to my green trend line, um, before making a drastic move into, either side. That's what I think might happen, but honestly, I'm not 100%, so I can't enter a position unless I have a good feeling of where the price may go. Also, what's interesting to note is that a lot when there's a big trend moving into either direction, we see that the trend just pushes drastically into the upside. And then there's this sort of consolidation before and then pushing up again and pushing up again. And so we're back into that consolidation. And usually when a trend comes up, so I think it's the flag, whatever pattern this is, it's hopefully signaling bullish momentum. Right, so I think this is the flag. And I think for the flag, it needs to kind of descend down slightly or descend up. I forget which one it was. But yeah, it seems we're in a pretty bullish market at the moment, and we kind of want to follow the trend. But I'll be putting in a few of these micro trades and see if we can profit from, from the market, this micro market movements. Okay, so we're currently seeing a pretty strong momentum into the upside, breaking previous market highs, as you can see here. So we've broken a lot of these previous market highs. What we kind of want to do now is to see whether or not this price retraces back before, and then looking into entering a long position into the upside and trying to target one of these previous highs up here. So it'll be a pretty big trade today. Let's just see how the price reacts, whether or not it retraces back here, back into under this line. If so, that could be our indication to then enter into that long position. So we just need to wait a little bit longer, see how the price reacts. But it seems as though the market still wants to push the price up into the upside, which is very good for us today. Yeah, you can see here that it wants to retrace back to, I think, more of a fair value gap, which I think is formed here, which we want to make sure we keep an eye on. So yeah, it's likely going to retrace back into about here before then pushing up again. And we want to see it clearly break this market structure. If so, we want to enter into that long position. Oof, gosh, I made my lot size 45. So we'll just wait a couple of minutes and just see it how the price reacts at that line. So if it comes back down, that'll be great. We can enter the trade. We can then hopefully we'll see the price pushing up higher and higher, and eventually hitting our TP today. That's the obviously the goal. Um, but yesterday I put in a trade. I think I got stopped out within about 10 minutes. It was horrible. But that's Forex trading. That's how it is. The markets are just incredibly dynamic and fluid. Okay, so we're reapproaching that previous resistance level. Let's see how the price reacts. Also, 1 minute and then a new candle is formed. So that will be on a 5 minute candle as well as a 15-minute candle. So let's see whether that candle is plays in our favor. Ah, massive pushback into the upside. Wow. So the sellers are really trying to win this fight. Here we go. So we've seen a close above that previous resistance level, hoping it doesn't retrace too much into the downside. Okay, I want to enter into this position. Hopefully it's, gosh, why does it put my entry so high up? Oof, IG's a bit of a con artist when it comes to pips, huh? Um, okay, well, I've entered this position now. In fact, let me expand my stop loss just a little bit. Should check this before entering the position. So make sure it is pushed below this previous low, giving us enough room for growth. That's the important thing. Okay, so let's see how this trade plays out. Um, the reason I've entered this trade is because this candle has broken that previous high. It's broken all of those previous resistance levels. The price is trailing above the EMA. On the We're also seeing a pretty strong upward trend, so we are in a bullish market at the moment. If I zoom back out up to the 15-minute one, the 15 minutes, again, we can see huge bullish momentum. The price is above the EMA, um, and I'm trying to target here today. So trying to target this as my TP, which is then also in line with one of these previous supply levels. So it's a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio today. Certainly hoping this trade plays out. Would be very, very good. I am a little bit nervous about this ascending wedge, which is actually a bearish pattern, which you can see one, two, there's been almost 3 touch points, and I'm very nervous that this may resort into the price going into the downside. So if that happens, no big issue. I'll likely get stopped out. Then I can reevaluate the market and potentially re-enter into a short position. But again, only if there is enough confirmation on that side. So that is the reason I've entered into this trade. I think it's a relatively good setup. Now all I gotta do is wait and see how it plays out. Good Lord, today has been a very boring session, just watching it bounce between two levels. It's not breaking into either side, which is very, very annoying. I've been watching this stock chart now for almost 8 hours, so that's not that great. Can definitely see that it has broken above that previous high, which indicates a bullish momentum, which is really, really good. I'm still bullish. I still think it will could potentially hit that TP, so I'm gonna leave this just running overnight. And just see it how far it gets. There we go. Let's use that circle as the area of where I am leaving this at now. So later on we can come back and take a look and be like, okay, well that's where the price was, and you know this is where it is now. So let me just put out my TP here, TP there. Wonderful. And okay, so hopefully tomorrow we can reanalyze what had happened to the market, to the price. Um, all right, thanks again, guys. See you later. Hey traders, so it seems as though my TP did get hit, which is fantastic news. Making roughly about $55, $56 for yesterday's trade. That is fantastic news. So what happened was I had ended the trade after watching the charts for almost 9 hours, and this is where we ended up. This is where I left the chart. So I kept the trade open. We can see that there was a very slow climb into the upside where my TP laid, and this is where my TP got hit just up here. So you can see, which is great, fantastic. So TP was hit, um, pretty accurate. I think that was a very good trade, in profit, amazing. So now I need to reanalyze the market and wait for a new setup. So this is really good. It's a very good example. I know, you know, 9 hours waiting for that trade to play out wasn't exactly London session, but you know, in the end, I still got my TP hit, so pretty happy with that. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've well just enjoyed watching the stock chart move as I have. So thanks again, guys, and I'll see you in the next session.